This is a story about a DM who needed to use AI every step of the way and how the players responded to it. Honestly, I'm surprised it took us this long to get a story like this, but first, thank you to today's sponsor. Probably the single most asked question about D&D is, how do I find a game? People try Reddit, forums, discords, random roll-ups that fall apart faster than a sandcastle at high tide. It's a shell of a time until it isn't. But with Start Playing, you don't have to crab walk through the chaos anymore. Whether you're brand new to tabletop RPGs or a seasoned adventurer, Start Playing helps you find the perfect group and professional game master in just a few clicks. Want a late night dungeon crawl, a Pathfinder one-shot, or did you really want to try Daggerheart? With thousands of games and flexible scheduling, you will find your perfect fit without any pinchy headaches. Join solo, meet new adventurers, and start rolling tonight. 80,000 players already trust Start Playing to keep their games fun, safe, and smoother than melted butter on crablet. Why is that one in the script? Don't be shell-shocked by bad games. Dive in, find your table, and start playing today. Picture me, baby freshman with a backpack that squeaks because I'm still figuring out adult laundry, walking into the campus gaming club with the optimism of a golden retriever and the social skills of a goldfish. I'm thinking, new school, new friends, new dice. I've done a few half campaigns in high school, never made it past level 5, but this time I will ascend. I will reach level 7, maybe 8. We meet in the student center basement. There are 6 of us. Me, Paladin, because I have a martyr complex. Maya, the bard, total dramatic theater kid stereotype. Evan, rogue. Jules, barbarian. Porter, wizard, the kind of STEM major who annotates his spellbook with sticky flags. And Jamie, the cleric. We are adorable. We are laden. I never knew how to pronounce that word. We are ready. Enter Kyle, a longtime friend. Love him, but he's always on the cutting edge. He will get in on the ground floor of anything new or innovative. He bought and sold NFTs, crypto, Wall Street bets. He is our DM. He opens with, "I've been experimenting with some tools to make the game more immersive." We nod. Tools. We're imagining soundboards, maybe miniatures and props. He continues, casually, like he's saying he prefers oat milk. "I won't railroad you. I'll just ask the AI what happens when you try something. That way the story is fair." Okay, first off, I just want to get this out there. I like that OP described Maya as a dramatic theater kid, when I can already tell by the way this is written that OP herself is the drama. This isn't a mark against who she is, but it is funny to read the most dramatic flair on text I've probably ever seen in these stories, and she's describing somebody else as dramatic. Of course, you can be dramatic and also right. These two are not mutually exclusive. Second, the DM was called Cutting Edge, but all the examples were digital gambling. I have cutting edge friends too. They're obsessed with VR, AI glasses, and red light therapy. But if Kyle's idea of innovation is Wall Street bets and letting AI run games, that might suggest he's more into shortcuts than actually being cutting edge. Let's dig a little deeper. We do session 0 paperwork. Kyle passes around an expectations and safety doc that reads like an HR training module, complete with sections. Sections. There's a section 3 called Emotional Debrief Cadence. I'm worried, but also too many granola bites deep to object. We agree to meet weekly. We agree to yes and. We agree to use a shared imagination space. But this man is already imagining handing that space to a robot. Session 1. We sit, we roll, we're in a tavern, obviously. Kyle leans back, opens his laptop like a wizard unfurling a scroll, and begins to read. The timbered beams stretch like solemn cathedral arches, their history etched with the quiet labor of nameless hands. A hearth exhales memory, smoke braided with laughter, sorrow, the dust of old songs. Dust coated the counters and tabletops like a faded shroud, and broken chairs slumped in the corners. The air smelled of wood gone dry and old ale that had seeped into the floorboards decades ago. It was so So long. One of us had to stop him before we had to learn the genealogy of the oak that was used in the floorboards. Is there a bartender? Evan asks. Kyle blinks. Yes. Period. No name, no vibe, no menu, just, yes. This is such a visible seam, it's painful. I'm not the most anti-AI person you're ever gonna meet. It has its uses, but you know what the worst application of it is every single time? Using it to erase people. And that includes replacing our flawed, messy selves with a flawed, messy machine. If I want to play in your game, that's because I want to play in your game. I want to interact with your ideas and your creativity. Anyways, where were we? Session 2. We're outside the city gates. Our rogue wants to bluff a guard. Roll deception, add charisma, maybe argue about whether your hat counts as an advantage. Evan rolls, click-clack 16. Kyle freezes. He types. We wait. He types more. I hydrate out of anxiety. Finally, the guard studies your eyes, reading there the stale echo of falsehood. He sees through your deception. You didn't roll, Porter says. I did, Kyle replies. I fed the AI your stats, the number you rolled, and the believability of your lie. It factored in penalties. I'm sorry, did we outsource rulings to a compliance algorithm? Deception checks by way of a timesheet portal? I half expected to get a follow-up email. Your bluff has been denied. Reason: did not meet departmental sincerity threshold. We try again, and Evan pitches a different angle, embellishes with flavor. Kyle types, we wait, and the AI rejects it again, this time with paragraphs about fate's economy and the arithmetic of trust. Babe, I'm trying to sneak past a guy in a hat, not audit my soul. Okay, hold on. I have one minor objection. If I'm correct, the NPC isn't required to roll insight against your deception every time. The DM can roll insight, or just freehand it and determine if the NPC believes it or not, accounting for believability and the die roll. But maybe I'm a little too used to freehanding it. I just don't believe that all lies should have to pass the same numbered check. Convincing people of different things should be differently scaled. Still, that's about where my support for Kyle slips. I don't think this should be outsourced to an AI. There's just no way it can pick up on the broader context and story implications past and present. I don't believe in it. The tech isn't there, at least not yet. Anyways, Session 3. Kyle informs us that he wants the story to feel alive, so he's adding twists. Twist 1. The mayor is secretly a werewolf. Classic. Love that for him. Slay. Twist 2. There's a space whale in the sewers. Okay, fine. The city has municipal cetaceans. We adapt. Twist 3. The blacksmith we adore becomes an avatar of entropy. Sir, he was selling us horseshoes yesterday. Twist 4. The king is a sentient algorithm of fate, which unfortunately is what I call Kyle now. It becomes clear that the robot thinks twist means escalate abstract nouns until the ceiling falls off. I'm of the belief that you can make pretty much any plot twist fly as long as you have enough runway. None of these are even bad concepts for twists, but my guess is because it's an AI prompt generated on the spot and the DM didn't make them a meaningful part of the world earlier, none of them landed gracefully. The biggest rule of having a plot twist is subtle foreshadowing. You want to drop clues so that when the twist happens, it recontextualizes the past. It all clicks. Things that didn't make sense before are now illuminated. Also, a twist shouldn't exist just because, well, a story has to have a twist. A twist should be something that fulfills or opens a character arc, solves a mystery, drives someone to action, or just be a vital piece of information that the party can use. And just one more thing, I said it once years ago, but while we're on this topic, DMs, if your players correctly guessed the plot twist, you're not a failure. In fact, you're successful. You made a story that makes sense. It's way better for players to call the shot early than to sit there confused when the twist drops. Sometimes when my twists are discovered early, if I'm lucky, I can find a way to weave that into the story. Congratulations, you found the plot twist early. The mayor is a werewolf. Now, good luck convincing the town and the incredibly corrupt courts. And now that the mayor knows that you know his secret, he will work day and night to smear your public image so that nobody believes you. That would be an awesome campaign arc, would it not? Then again, that's just a crab's opinion. I'm not published. Session 4. Every NPC speaks like they're auditioning for Hamlet. The barkeep, the chandler, the guard, the guy who sells cabbage. All of them deliver monologues. My paladin asks a street kid where the market is. Kyle, earnestly, "The youth gazes up with eyes that shimmer like dusk on a rain-washed street, his voice carrying the timbre of innocence interwoven with sorrow." Ooh. The child is 8. He sells newspapers. He does not shimmer with dusk. I need directions to fruit. But that's how every NPC had to be described. From the most to least important, there was no distinction. Mini Disaster 1, the Locked Door Arc. We find a locked door. Jules, sweet, beloved Jules, declares, "I smash it." She rolls a 19. The table cheers because finally, action, physics, the realm of cause and effect. Kyle types, tap tap tap. "The door resists, its iron hinges forged with the stubbornness of time itself. Your blow echoes like thunder, but fate decrees. The threshold stands." Fate decrees? Babe, fate does not decree hinges. Jules sits back deeply, personally rejected by carpentry. Porter tries knock. The AI returns a poem about how, some thresholds open only inward. The door remains. I start to suspect the door is the protagonist. And that, my dearies, was the DM's way of telling us it was a pull door. Okay, no, this was funny. I give the locked door situation a pass. The broader story is worth complaining about, but using Shakespearean ye olde English to try and describe a pull door is hilarious. If one of my players tried to open a door, like most DMs, I would just assume they tried it both ways to keep things moving. But this is one of those silver lining moments where it becomes so bad it's good. Like a silver lining. Still, let's take the fun from this scene and leave out the bad so we have something to add to our DM notes. The party needs to complete a quest that relies on precise information, like defusing a bomb or navigating an extremely booby-trapped dungeon. Adding to our hero's trouble, the only NPC that has this information is unable or unwilling to speak clearly. Think like Choose Goose. He only speaks in flowery, pretentious riddles. This will be hard to improvise, so I'll write everything he should say beforehand. Anyways, let's get back to the good part. Or the bad part. Or the so bad it's good part. Roll post. Mini Disaster 2. We capture a goblin scout. Standard interrogation. We expect a "Boss camp north, many goblins, wow, scary." Instead, Kyle reads, "To hunger is to be a wheel, and I am but a spoke in the cart of midnight." 2 minutes! 2 minutes! We are hostage to a goblin soliloquy that references eternal recurrence. Professor Goblin. We applaud at the end because what else do you do for a guest lecturer? Mini Disaster 3. We try to buy rations. The shopkeeper refuses coin because, value is a story we tell each other. The cabbage sings lamentations. The fishmonger quotes Kierkegaard. A rag picker sells us threads of destiny, it's literally just twine. I want to laugh so hard I'm in tears, but I'm dying inside, because we've been in this marketplace for 40 minutes and I have not rolled a single die. Session 5. Bard time. Maya is our moment. She tosses hair, she winks, she purrs. I flirt with the barmaid. This is our bread and butter. This is theater. Kyle raises a finger and turns to his laptop. Eventually, Kyle reads, "She blushes with the hue of dawn's first promise." This had to stop. My patience was running out. This went on without any major incident, but everybody was done with it. We made several attempts to fix it before my head exploded. We didn't ask Kyle to shut down the AI, just for him to put limits on it. Attempt 1, the timer. Porter proposed a set 60-second sand timer. If the AI is still writing when this runs out, we summarize and move on. Kyle agreed, hits enter on a prompt about tavern rumor variety, and we watch the last grain fall just as the AI finishes describing the patina of centuries on an iron ladle. We move on. Attempt 2, human questions. We emphasized asking NPC questions only a person would answer quickly. Where's the bathroom? How much is bread? Is that your dog? The AI writes us sonnets about sanitation as metaphor. The bread costs 2 regrets and an old coin. The dog belongs to no man but the rain. I cannot overstate how badly I wanted to die in that moment and be reborn as a broom. It was intended to It was intended to tire Kyle out of asking the AI for every answer to everything, but it didn't work. Attempt 3, the no AI night. Maya proposes a human night. No AI, pure vibes. Kyle says he's too busy to prep without support. We offer to run a one-shot. He says he'll ask the AI for a one-shot. I tell Kyle, it can be a beach episode. No need for prep. Mostly character interaction. Kyle refuses, saying that has nothing to do with the story and it's just useless filler. I consider becoming a chalk outline on the floor. Oh, wait. Okay, I just understood that. That was dark. Okay, here's the deal. I agree with Kyle that filler is to be avoided. If something can be cut and the product is better when you cut it, then by all means cut it. That's great writing advice and excellent for making movies or novels, but D&D is not the same as a novel or a movie. The fun is in playing the characters. Giving them a low-stakes scenario, like enough room to breathe, can help them lean into their character by letting them say and do things that they ordinarily couldn't when faced with tense negotiations or combat or travel. Besides, filler is when you're reading a science fiction novel, but there's a B-plot about paint drying that doesn't add anything to the story, or characters, or setting, or theme, or artistic vision. That's what makes Kyle's stance here so awkward. He'll keep the long AI-generated, definitely filler descriptions. He'll stop the game mid-flow just to wait for the algorithm to spit out another line. But a roleplay heavy, low-stakes session with his actual players is suddenly filler. Like, boy, you are the one adding the filler you claim to be against, my friend. You're not against filler. You're against anyone's filler but your own. In fact, you're not even for your own filler. It's all AI. Time has lost meaning. The goblin has tenure, and the floor is up for a Pulitzer. Maya says, what if tonight we just, vibe? Minimal description, maximum banter. Kyle shrugs that he's too busy, he says. It's easier than brainstorming. That was it for me. Something in my spine goes click, like a seatbelt unbuckling. I'm not that dramatic. No, you are dramatic. But I do feel the urge to throw my chair into the sun. You see what I mean? Okay, I'm sorry. I never break up a story this badly, but OP says, I'm not that dramatic, but I feel the urge to throw my chair into the sun. That's funny. I don't know. This is the second time that OP claimed to not be dramatic immediately after saying something really dramatic. Still, I mean, like I said earlier, dramatic doesn't necessarily mean wrong. It just means interesting to listen to, if nothing else. Where were we? I smile, sip my water, and when the session ends, I say I need to study for midterms. I do not return. I ghost. Then the attrition begins. The silence afterwards is so loud I can hear the AI whispering to the void about the dignity of farewells. Did we confront him? No. There was nothing to argue. We agreed to play this game, and then I tried to change it from the inside. We weren't betrayed or punished like in many other stories. The final session I don't attend. But I imagine it goes like this. Kyle opens the laptop. The robot wakes up. He asks it, "What happens when a party leaves?" And the robot says, "The tavern remembers them as the odor of laughter on old wood." And Kyle just sits there and smiles. That's mean. I go to my room. I put my dice in the little tin my grandma gave me. I type this out on my dorm bed and stare at the ceiling tile I drew a tiny dragon on. You know, I feel like this story is the opposite of the Matt Mercer effect. Instead of people begging the DM to be more like somebody else, they just wanted him to be more like himself. So in a way, this isn't even a cautionary tale about AI ruining games forever. It's completely avoidable. What this story is really about is authenticity. AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. But really, the more all-consuming it becomes, I hope it will make people crave more of the real things and people and relationships in front of them. For all the good AI could bring in medicine and education, it's already making the job market, social media, and the internet suck a lot more. It would take like some insane cancer treatment advancement or breakthrough to make AI worth a lot of the trouble it's given us so far. Anyways, till next time.